After last week's close quarter battles at the Lime Rock Park circuit, the Lotus 49 once again stretches legs as we head to the greatest sports car endurance track this world has ever seen. The track we speak about is none less than a 13.6 kilometer long circuit, the Vanguard du Mans. With the championship in its closing stages, the top 5 still have a mathematical chance to win this season. But in reality, it comes down to a 1v1 between our champions of this year thus far. It's all fought out between Rob Olenek and Mick Clatch. So buckle up, get some popcorn and join us today as we get ready to watch round 12 of the Grand Prix Legend Series live on the global SimRacing channel via the iRacing eSports Network. Speaking to you from the press box up high is Stefan Schlacher alongside Ryan Walker. Turning on knobs and pushing buttons behind the scenes art director Sean Rex Ambrose, and he's using cameras provided by the great WB. While LeMans is most definitely one of the biggest and greatest sports car circuits out there, little people know about this track all over the world. So why not get tarmac side with our GSRC track guide?
Welcome to Le Mans. When you talk about legendary circuits, this is a place that stands among the most famous in the world. Part permanent road course, part temporary street circuit, it traipses through the countryside just south of the city where it gets its namesake. Its size matches its reputation as well, clocking it at 8.5 miles, which equates to roughly 13.5 kilometers. However, when you take into account that it's split by only 33 turns, the frighteningly fast nature of this circuit becomes clear. Most of the corners have been added over the century of history it's experienced, but many have become renowned and respected. The 2 turns at the opposite ends of the massively long Mulsanne Straight play equally important roles. Tertre Rouge requires a great exit in order to not lose massive amounts of time, while Mulsanne Corner takes bravery and precision in order to brake as late as possible and keep opponents from passing you on the way in. There's also hair-raising moments like the tricky entry to Indianapolis, or the close walls along the bridge section in the Porsche curves. To win here, drivers will need a very low downforce setup, a good sense of strategy, and heaps of bravery. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is the crown jewel of endurance racing, which many drivers dream of someday winning and many fans flock to witness in person. Once you've driven the track here on iRacing, it's easy to see why.
A short summary from the great Joe Peak about what Le Mans is all about. Are you looking to take advantage of GSRC's over 1 million monthly global impressions? From official series sponsorships to commercial placements, we have advertising options customizable to suit your company's needs. Follow the link in the description to learn more. And as always, learning more, that's what we're all about here at GSRC. So Ryan, why don't you tell us more about Le Mans?
Yeah, so it's a fantastic track, and it has a really big history about the place. And it's hosted the real life 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's hosted MotoGP. It's hosted also the classic 24 Hours of Le Mans with the classic cars, and they also host a motorbike 24 Hours of Le Mans as well, which is a bit unusual, but pretty cool to hear. And the track is 8.47 miles in length, or 13.6 kilometers if you prefer to use that. Has an amazing 31 turns, and it's located close to the town of Le Mans, or Pays de la Loire. Hopefully I got that right. And today we'll be using the classic Le Mans layout, so there's no chicane. It's basically just one big straight when it comes on to Mulsanne.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to watch that unfold here today. By the way, the bike 24 Hours of Le Mans, that's driven on the Bugatti circuit that we sadly don't have on iRacing. Things we have on iRacing though, that is the F1's Driver Championship here about the series. And Mick Clatch, as already said, he is one of the 2 drivers that still are quite close together. He is in first place with 378 points. Rob Olenek only 17 points behind him, so that should be really interesting in these last 2 races of the season, with Nicola Coach already 40 points back, Trengate another 9 points behind, and then Rafael Dorado, a new face inside the top 5 here in this series. He is 84 points already behind. Things that are decided already though, Ryan, that's the F2 Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, the F2's Drivers' Championship has basically been decided with a basically 1 round remaining after today, and Finland's Antti Kerinen has pretty much got it in the bag, so he doesn't have to worry about being under pressure. So it's going to be a battle for second place between David Rossi, who's sitting 113 points further back from Kerinen, as I say, got it in the bag, and then Pekka Risto in third. And then Colin Bentley still in touch of a top three finish in the championship, and Andrew N from America rounds out the top five.
Yeah, still is very close in behind, but as said, Antti Kerinen, he is already our season's champion after that race at Lime Rock Park. One more thing we have to, we can look at standings-wise, that is the Nations Cup, and it's also rather, well, I don't want to say close, but there's still some things to gain, as United Kingdom is leading that one with 462 points, United States 426 points, and then there is Italy already below 400 points. They have 397 to the names, or 65 points behind the United Kingdom. And Norway and the Netherlands are also really close together, only 13 points between those in 4th and 5th, so it should be interesting who gets what position here in those top 5s, but I think Italy is going to stay where they are in 3rd. Ryan, thanks for the staying. Let's talk a little bit about the race details for today.
Absolutely. For anyone that's tuning into the series for the first time or is wondering how the series works, this is the penultimate round of the season, and the rest of the day will be 9 laps. It might not seem like a lot, but around the Le Mans, especially on the classic layout, that'll probably take an eternity to complete. And the setup, as always, is going to be open, and 17x will be a stop and go penalty. And if you get to 25x, you will be unfortunately removed from the race, or in other words, disqualified.
Yeah, hopefully nobody runs into that problem, but I think they will be crashed out before they reach that disqualification or even the drive-through penalty. Qualifying already in proper way here in the background as we join that. Now Mick Lerch right now in first place, unsurprisingly. Rafael Dorado in behind him. He is though a distance back. That's 7/10 between those two. And then Steve Bycroft makes once again a return into the series. He is another 10th behind in 3rd. Ron Pasulowski 4th place. And Nick Lagocci right now running out your top 5 of this qualifying.
Yep, as a Rafael Dorado's on his qualifying lap at the moment, and Rafael even admitted during the week that he's not had as much time to practice for this round, and he's basically just took his sparse setup and made some alterations to it. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on around here. But Rafael Dorado has been one that's steadily improved as the season's gone on, and I think he could be the dark horse in this race today.
Well, one thing we also have to talk about is the Rob Olenek predicament, pretty much. Because the thing is, he's running, as we have been told, very high tire pressures, which will suit him if the track temperature is high. So why not bring up that overlay and have a look at what we have here today. And look at that, it really paid off. 44 degrees Celsius is the track temperature. That's 111 Fahrenheit. So Rob Olenek, your gamble most definitely seemed to have paid off.
Yeah, good work around here, and Olenek, he's been unfortunate at times this season, but at the moment he seems to be doing pretty well. He was doing okay in practice, and it'll be interesting to see how he qualifies as they ride on board Rafael Dorado, just coming through the Indianapolis section, and he just went on the gravel, so that might be an off track.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is Rafael Dorado is the first one to set the lap, and we're gonna get all the laps in pretty much quick succession, because like that's what 15 or so cars are stretching from Rafael Dorado back to Indianapolis. So this is going to be a really quick fire lap shootout that's gonna come up here. So it'll be interesting to see if Mikulaj can put in. Mikulaj, by the way, is the second driver in all of this line. Obviously they can't see each other, they're not going to get impeded by them, because if you're new to iRacing, this is lone qualifying. You're alone on the track. This is not an open qualifying session.
Absolutely, as Dorado comes round out of the Porsche curb section, and he's just on the run up to the four chicanes now, and I don't know if that was an off track or not, but it might have been close, say, in the Indianapolis section as he comes into the first part of the Ford chicane now, and he's just got the last part to come through, and we'll see where he ends up qualifying.
That was a big slide there through the Virage Letizier. Let's see what is gonna be that. That was a fast lap time, so he did close in by 2/10. He is now 2/10 behind, but Mikel, he did continue in his first position. Now the other times come in. Over Terengre jumps up to 4th place. Warren Watkins up to 13th. There's, I think that was Rob Olenek up to 6th place, so he is doing good in qualifying. Not too good, though, because that's a full second of Mikel, though we're expecting a big pack to stay together pretty much throughout the race.
Absolutely, as it looks like everyone's finished their qualifying, and I believe they will go right to the grid now.
Yep, everybody over the line, and time is also up, so we're gonna go over to the grid. And as said, Mikel, he is leading in qualifying, thus he got the pole position here today. Rafael Dorado 2/10 behind. Steve Bycroft, the first inside the 3:29 laps with a 3:29.005. Over Terengre at 4th place. 5th place went to Ron Paslowski. Rob Olenek 6th. Bill Tyler 7th. Nicola Coach 8th. Sebastian Tixier 9th, and Andy Kerinen rounds out to top 10 as the Patrouille de France fly over.
Starting in 11th is David Price with Gary Teo alongside him in 12th. Finland's Pekka Risto will start in 13th with Warren Watkins in 14th. Chris Kamikaze Marakami starts in 15th with Paul Foster in 16th. Chandler Pellerito in 17th, Dave Cohen 18th, John Olsen 19th, and rounding at the top 20 is Douglas Cloud.
John Van Dorn is 21st, Chris Hengler 22nd, Anthony O'Brother, Randy Howe, and Colin Bentley round out to top 25. Lars Olsen 26th, Michael Sullivan 27th, 28th, 9th, and 30th went to Andrew Enck, Andres Bruno, and Don Peak. 31st, 32nd, 33rd, that's Douglas Nelson, Robert Reynolds, and Christer Hendrickson, rounding out your 33 car field. So that's quite a lot of drivers. Didn't expect so many for Le Mans, but Le Mans pulls in pretty much.
Absolutely, it was just waiting to get underway, and just waiting for the lights to go out, and we'll be underway with this race. And I have to say, I'm excited for this one.
Very much so. Very excited because we don't have those chicanes. As already said, we're expecting this field, at least the top dogs, the top 5-6 drivers, to stay pretty much together all race long. Just waiting for the marshal to give us the lights here on the starting grid. Should be out about another 5 or so seconds. There we go. Red lights are on. Engines are harmonizing. And we are green. It's a great start from Rafael Dorado. A little bit of a bad start from Mikel reaction time wise, but the first few meters just extraordinary for him as he really shoots away there from Rafael Dorado, who might have had a chance at first place, but just the first few meters of Mikel is always extremely well. Going into the first chicane, and there's a big crash in behind. Bill Tyler goes for a tumble, lands the right way up, but his car most definitely is toast, and now also Maurice gets turned. It still continues all the way down to the Chapelle chicane.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but it's always the case around Le Mans into Turn 1. Everyone just bunches up and it causes a bit of a bottleneck effect, but as they head onto the Mulsanne straight now, and this is where all the slipstreaming battles will start to happen.
If we get a nice time later on in the race, we will show you that dribble because our cameras have most definitely caught all of that. But first time down the Unodia Straight. Once again, we're not going to slow down for neither of the two chicanes they have. And nowadays, Rafael Dorado, look at the run he is getting from the draft. He has about 8 miles per hour advantage over Mikel, so he's going to pull over to the right side and just is flying past.
Yeah, Dorado to the lead, and he used the slipstream to his advantage as Claridge gets the slipstream again, and he tries to make a move on Dorado, and I think we're going to see this for the early stages of the race. And also behind as well, I thought we were going to have a four-wide battle going down the straight for third places.
Yeah, Steve Bycroft third place over Terengre Rob Olenek. He gained 2 positions in the draft and lost 2 positions again off the draft. So
contact!
Oh, Rafael Dorado spins himself around on the back of Mick Kledge, I think. Mick Kledge, with that under pressure now from Rob Olnick, is there side by side, going down the second straight. Curb Gulf, perfectly traversed under the hybrid bridge, and now it's going to get very interesting here into the Indianapolis kink. Mick Kledge around the outside of Rob Olnick. Still side by side going into Indianapolis itself. And Mick Kledge is going to take that away.
Yeah, Claris managed to hold on to the lead through Indianapolis, and he wasn't prepared to give an inch. But that incident with Dorado, it caused Claris to slow down, and it's allowed the others behind to close right up.
Seems like also that incident between Mick Kledge and Rafael Dorado was a little bit of netcode. So unfortunate for both of them, but it seems like Rafael Dorado didn't get any damage, and so also did Mick Kledge not have any damage. We're gonna look back here real quick to Rafael Dorado. There he is. Still running in, I think, 6th place it is. If I can count my cars. Actually 7th, so I can't count my cars. But yeah, Mick Kledge out of the Corvette chicane here. He's going to be leading for the first time around with Rob Olnick in second. Sebastian Tixier from 9th up to 3rd. Very great shot from him. Over train grade 4th place. Ron Paslowski will come over the line in 5th with Nikola Kosher 6th for Rafael Dorado. A little bit behind, but I think he's going to catch that train before it leaves the station in 7th. Steve Bycroft, 8th place. Warren Watkins already quite far off, 8 seconds that is. In 9th and 10th place to Chandler Pellerito.
Yeah, I was just watching Claridge as he came up the run up to the Dunlop chicane.
Oh, Koji with a near spin through Dunlop chicane. Keeps it all together, so run.
No problem. As yeah, we're just about to look at the replay of that now to see what happened to Koji, and it looks like he might have just got a bit sideways by the looks of it into the chicane, and yeah, still looking now, and he just got sideways on the exit a little bit.
And he is continuing to struggle even through up to Ted Rouge. He was still sliding on his back tires, so it really did hurt him there. Maybe even a little bit hot on the temperatures now because of that first slide through the Dunlop chicane. But obviously this does help a little bit. Rafael Dorado, he got that slipstream. Going up front though, Rob Olnick, he got past now Mick Kledge because of the draft, but look at that. Mick Kledge already starting to gain once again, 345, 346. Will we get a 350 kilometers an hour? Not quite, 349 is where he topped out before popping out of the slipstream. He is gonna go past once again, and now this will be once again the moment for Rob Olnick to go past Mick Kledge, and that's just how this car rolls here at Le Mans with the big straights. You can pass about 2 times down the very long straight into Mulsanne, but this time not for Rob Olnick, as he has to settle once again in 2nd place over train grade. He did overtake. I'm missing 3rd place here. Sebastian Tixier. Something happened to Tixier because he's way back all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the replay on my end to see what happened, to see if he made any mistakes, and
oh, you know what? I think Tixier had a slowdown out of Ted Rouge because he was mighty slow and off throttle down in Odia. Yeah, definite slowdown for Tixier out of Ted Rouge, because you have to get back onto the track once the curb ends on the exit. Otherwise, you're gonna get that slowdown. And now he even has big issues through Indianapolis. He loses more time. That means Tixier only in 8th place.
Yeah, that's the thing with Le Mans as well. You can't really. There's some places that you get tempted to really run wide and try and test the limit and try and gain as much momentum. But if you run too wide and go over the curb, you get a slowdown, like you mentioned, and around Le Mans that can cost you big time.
Yeah, big time. That's pretty much what it is. Tixier lost 8 seconds in this lap. So one slowdown, one big mistake, and you're already quite far back. Though he is still very much clear of Antti Keränen, who is 7.7 seconds behind Tixia.
Absolutely, and I don't. Probably feel bad for going away from this battle, but I'm just watching Rafael Dorado, and like you say, he's managed to catch up to back up to the pack in front, and yeah, he's done pretty well to catch back up to them. So Rafael Dorado, even though he had that bit of an incident, he actually went purple as well across the line. So he's absolutely on it at the moment.
Well, he might get held up by Christer Henriksen. Yes, very much so through the second part of the Dunlop chicane. So that did cost him a little bit, but as you said, he went purple last lap, a 3:27.659, about a second faster than anybody else inside the leading group. And in case you're wondering, why is he still calling that a leading group? Well, yes, we have about a 2-second gap between Trangerate and Olenek, but if they work together in behind, they still are very much in distance to get back up to the front two as Rob Olenek once again drafts past McClatch. McClatch will do the same thing once again to Rob Olenek. So this, once again, is just to play. These two are gonna continue down the straights, work together through the turns, and also work together through the straights. Look at how nicely coordinated. Thing is, though, over Trangerate in behind, he is catching. He is doing 351 kilometers an hour, so that's 4-5 kilometers an hour faster than those two are doing.
Oh, that was so close to the wall there.
My goodness, yeah, that was really close. Really lucky that a New England driver to not crash out of this race.
I don't know about you, but I bet Rob Olenek took a big deep breath there as soon as he saw the wall there. That was a bit of a squeaky bum moment.
Yeah, and what this led to is now that over Trangerate is only a second behind those two. Cena has Ron Paslowski get past. And one thing we have to note about Ron Paslowski is, as interesting, Rob Olenek goes to the inside through the Indy Kink. Still side by side, those two for the lead. And this is really going to hurt them with their advantage they have over Ron Paslowski, and the pack in behind is also Rafael Dorado at least tries to go past over Trangerate. Can't find the traction though, so over Trangerate stays in 4th place. And Rob Olenek got past McClatch through Virage de Nage.
It's not over yet though, they're still on the run up to the Porsche curves, and I think it's going to be a game of who breaks the latest, and it looks like Rob Olenek will do that and passes around up the outside into the Porsche curves.
Smart thing by McClatch to into Porsche. Don't really go in the Lotus 49. You need all the track there is to survive that turn. But yeah, as said, Ron Paslowski now very much on the heels of those two. Difference is 3/10 rather. And this also leaves to everybody inside the top 6 now once again in this train. So I told you at the start of this lap, they're still very much in contention here, and there you have it. Back together, the top 6, as we enter lap number 3.
And this just looking at this pack now, it's really close together, and or usually in other races I would predict the winner, but I think for this race at LeMans it's going to be hard because of that slipstream down the straight, and yep, I think it's going to go right down to the last lap and who can keep out of trouble.
But yeah, what I wanted to say about Ron Paslowski is he is running a straight line speed setup. So he will be topping out much later than others. I feel like over Trangerate is kind of running a similar setup to Ron Paslowski. We're expecting them to be doing about 6, 8, maybe 7 miles per hour more down the air than the others around them. So this might get very interesting once we head into the last lap. In front though, the game continues between Rob Olenek and McClatch. McClatch drafts past Rob Olenek. Here now also comes Ron Paslowski. Look at the overspeed he has over those two. He is getting boxed in by Rob Olenek though, and now he also comes over train grade, so we're now flying in 2x2 formation.
Pretty much as they come down there towards the end of the Molson straight now, and they through this little kink, and they again it looks like Clary just got the run on Olin because they head down here, and they look at the pack behind them, and they again Dorado's caught right up to these guys, and it's going to be a case again of whoever breaks the latest.
Also, Kochi, he's continuing to be the last guy in the train. He's the last wagon in this train. Just continues to sit back and relax a little bit in behind Rafael Dorado. Leclerc right now leading this train, but here comes Rob Boldenik. He wants to have that position going into the Indy King. He feels like he is the fastest driver through Porsche, so he really wants to have that position in his hand. Though Leclerc a little bit better through the kink into Indy itself, Robolnik has the better drive. Ooh. Side by side, nearly interlocking with the tires, those two giving no room to each other, but still very respectable. Now also here comes Roman Paslowski trying to take advantage of that over Leclerc, as Leclerc gets pushed wide, but Leclerc with a better traction out of the slow turn, as he always has. He continues to stay in second, nearly even is able to attack Rob here. And yeah, look at that, Rob only on the inside gives up that position.
Yeah, that was sensible thinking by Olenek, and I think he realised as well that Papslowski was right behind as well, and ready to make a move if Clara Johan got caught up, and it's come through the Porsche curves now, and it's all a single file at the moment.
Robo versus Nick Clash. Not only the race right now for first place, but also the race for the championship title. As more and more drivers continue to be in the pit lane. Right now we have about the top 22 that are still reasonable within this race as Mick Laird slow down. This is going to hurt his chances, but good thing is this 6-car train is... Oh, there's a car right in the racing line!
Whoa, that was so close.
Mr. Henriksen, that was. Or Krister, sorry. I don't know what happened to him, but that was mighty scary, and he was sitting there for a very long time.
Yeah, that was a bit of a scary moment for this leading pack coming across the line up into turn one, and that might have probably gave them a fright a little bit.
Roman Pawlowski looking back from him down to Rafael Dorado, who might get a very good run here now. But remember, Roman Pawlowski is running that low. You can't really say low downforce setup because these cars, well, there is not much downforce anyway on these cars. So, but yeah, look at that. And now he's out of the slipstream and he's really getting pulled in by the car behind. They nearly also touch wheels. I think there was actually some net cut between Rafael Dorado and Roman Pawlowski. Both cars did wiggle, and here now comes, who is that? That's over train grade, like a spaceship coming in for landing, and he's going to land in third place.
Yeah, I was about to say something different. I was going to say, oh, train grade came in like a ninja just from nowhere, but someone's just close to the wall again. Was that Olenek?
That was Olenek, and here now also comes Leclerc 3 wide forward lead for the very first time going into Mulsanne corner. Leclerc versus Rafael Dorado for the braking zone here. Still side by side, and this should be Leclerc's drive. Yes, very much so. He's going to lead out of Mulsanne corner.
This is fantastic racing between this pack, and it's just every time the positions change down the Mulsanne straight, they all change again, heading down to the run down to Indianapolis, and at the moment, it looks like we might see one or two position changes into Indianapolis. It looks like Rafael Dorado is going to be on the outside, heading into Indianapolis, but he decides to back out of it.
Who needs super speedway oval racing when you can have Lotus 49 at the historic level? That's a wiggle, that's a touch. Nicola Kochi out of the race.
Oh, Dorado's off as well.
Oh, that might be following some damage here from Rafael Dorado. Rafael Dorado out of Indianapolis. You're going to see he's going to have a little bit of a wiggle as we are on the replay now. Going into the King, still in third place here. Actually, sorry, on the inside here in second place. And then right here on the power has a little bit of a wiggle that is enough to get right into the nose of Nicola Kochi. Nowhere to avoid that. And he is out of the race.
Oh, jeez. So, not even had a chance to take a breath, but the person that benefited from all of that was Mick Claridge. He came from the back of this pack, back up into the lead.
Yeah, good thing for him that he was actually in first place. That all happened right behind him. As now over Trangerate is the car chasing him with Rob Bolnick in third place. Roman Paslowski fourth, Rafael Dorado. Luckily enough, still fifth place, but I think he might now be too far back, as he is about a second back from Roman Paslowski as they enter lap number 6 of 9.
And into the Dunlop chicane they come, and they're still all close together. It was unfortunate for Dorado, but it's going side by side through Indianapolis. It's always a bit of a risky move, so unfortunately it ended up in contact. But still, we've still got this fantastic battle up at the front between Claridge, Trengrade, Olenek, and they not too far behind by the looks of it. They a little bit far back, but Pawlowski still slightly in contention.
I think Pawlowski had a slowdown because Rafael Dorado did catch up to him, so something happened with him. I didn't catch that, so that's interesting. As Rob Bolnick goes up to second place, overtakes Trengerate, sorry, and it seems like over Trengerate has some issue because he's not really getting up to speed. He really did drop off these two, but now he's getting that overspeed. Very interesting. I wonder if he has some damage. Yeah, he has some nose damage, so that explains it. You're gonna see it once they come a bit closer to the camera. The third car there, the red one, has some nose damage. You can nicely see that white spot on his nose. But he still has enough speed to get back up to them. He lifts though as Rob Bolney goes to the inside. Actually tries to take that position away from McClatch going into Mulsanne corner, but it's not going to happen for him. As Rafael Dorado and Ron Paslowski were able to catch back up to the 3. So we're back with a 5-car battle pack.
He's right on more than Roman Paslowski heading down to Indianapolis, and he's like you say, he's managed to caught back up to the pack along with Dorado, and it looks like is Olenek going to go for a move into Indianapolis? He thinks about it, but decides to back out of it.
So it is a rather interesting constellation that we have here. Looking at our notes, what I decipher from this is that Rob Bolnick, his setup was actually created for even higher track temperatures that we have right now. And the thing is, for Rob Bolnick, the track temperature actually did drop by 2 degrees Celsius. So I wonder if he's starting to struggle a little bit with his extremely high tire pressures that he's running here, and is running into some sort of problem, especially through these corners here, the Porsche cars, as they are most dominantly known, where he is struggling a little bit for grip, especially here out of this section.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible he might be struggling with grip issues at the moment. Maybe just the tyre pressure not suiting the track conditions like we were talking about, and they maybe just kind of decided not to push at the moment, or maybe just back off slightly and look after his tyres, and maybe just let him come back to him. But as they come across the line, Claridge has got a little bit of a gap, but as they get onto the straight, that'll easily be erased.
Yeah, and also Rafael Dorado, new fastest lap of the race, so 3:27.584. He is the only driver to ever put a lap faster than a 3:28. So good job with that. Though we have to say that is very much draft assisted. He had a lot of draft down in the air and then also out of Mulsanne into Indy, and that is how that lap time came together. Though you have to be there to be there.
Yeah, you do indeed, especially around this track. You've just got to keep out of trouble and make sure you're there on the last lap. And as they come down the Mulsanne straight again, and Claridge has got a, like I say, he's got a slight gap, but that's starting to decrease now as Olenek and the pack behind close him back down.
Coming up to the passing zone of this track. This race will be probably decided in Mulsanne corner. You need to be there. You want to be leading out of Mulsanne. Otherwise, you might be in trouble to get past the car ahead. As Overtrangere tries to go into the lead here, had to sort of wait for Obolnik. Oh, once again, a little bit of a wiggle here through the kink for Olenek. Runs wide, but he is gonna be continuing in first place as he's able to brake later than all the others.
Yep. And it all bunches up again, and we're on the run up to Indianapolis now, and this is where traditionally everyone tries to make a move, try and even go side by side, and it looks like Overtrangere is under attack, and it looks like Claridge is trying to make the move. He's actually trying to make it 3 wide. He's like, whoa, that's so close.
And I actually did wrongly read my notes here. Oh, there goes actually Rob Bolnick to the inside. Oh, he's major slow. That's nearly touched there between himself and Mikkelaj. Just about able to stay out of the car of Rob Bolnick. Second time we see something very close for Mikkelaj that he was able to avoid.
Yeah, and I think Claridge tried to slow down and get an undercut, and unfortunately just about resulted in contact, and he just done enough to get slowed down a little bit.
But yeah, what I read wrong is you want to be out of Mulsanne. That's where you want to have the pass, and that's the crash for Obolnik. And also Mikkelaj. Both cars continue, but how damaged are they?
As they look at the replay now, heading up to the Porsche curves, and it looks like it's just going to... Oh, Claridge just braked slightly later and just carried more speed and might have just got caught out by Rob slowing down more than usual. And that was just unfortunate.
Whoa! Rob Bolnick near slide to death through the correct chicane. But it seems like Mikkelaj, very damaged, has a lot of understeer through the Porsche curves. Have to see how his car behaves here, not only through Coop Dunlop, but also then down, the air and through the Mulsanne kink as he once again aggressively over the curbs here at the Lancia chicane. His car very much broke. Let's see how it's going to behave through here.
Heading up to...
So much fine! But only if your room is broken.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it looked like he was he was struggling to keep the car in a straight line heading into the Dunlop chicane, and I have to say that could be a deciding factor in this championship.
Going through Tête Rouge, taking it slowly but surely. Alright, now the top speed comparison. What can those guys do versus the top 3? Rob Bolnick tries to cling on, but he is already quite a bit slower. And the guy's ahead, and he's starting to drop 8/10 back. 8.5 back. Mikkelaj also dropping 8/10 back from Rob Bolnick. Rob Bolnick now second back, but he is gaining a little bit once again because the guys ahead are starting to battle. The slower cars get shoved back, which means Rob Bolnick seems to be able to stay in the draft. Mikkelaj, so he's starting to drop back. He's a second now back and dropping from Rob Bolnick, sorry.
As they've got a change to the lead heading down the straight, it looks like Rafael Dorado, it looked like a minute the lead was going to change, but Dorado has just managed to hold on to it for the moment, and this is going to be who breaks late. Dorado on the inside, Pavlovsky on the outside, and it looks like Dorado might just hold it and manages to keep the lead.
Yeah, and this kerfuffle just helped a lot. Mikkelaj, as he got to the back of all of these guys. Overtrangere is really struggling out of Mulsanne. He's even going to get overtaken by Mikkelaj. So Mikkelaj fights to live another day. But the question is, once Porsche once again comes around, how much is he able to stick with those guys. Robotnik tries to go for a lead on the inside of Rafael Drade. That's not gonna end well for Rafael Drade. He gets pushed really wide. Just about makes it inside the curb once again for the Indy corner. And Jeremy Clutch now in 4th place, so let's see how he is gonna be handling Porsche curves.
Yep, they're on the run up to the Porsche curves now, and I thought Dorado was going to run wide into the gravel or even into the wall in Indianapolis, but he managed to just gather up. But as we head up to the Porsche curves, it looks like everyone's been sensible at the moment, and Claridge tries to take a sneaky look up the inside of Pawlowski, but Pawlowski has none of it.
Like it is right now, if we would be finishing the race as they are right now, this would actually mean that Mick Lynch would lose the championship lead to Rob Olnick going into the last race. So this is all gonna come down to the last race, no matter what. As Rafael Dorado a little bit of a problem through Maison Blanche, which opens up a big gap to Rob Olnick, but no doubt they will be catching him once again down Unodia.
And as we come across the line and to start the final lap, it's looks like at the moment it's all in it leading the race, but Trengrade's not too far behind, and as we know, the lawnmowers on straight could shake things up.
And as I already said 2 broadcasts ago, Mick Lynch, he does not have any more drop points in his pocket. Rob Olnick, though, he still has 7th and 8th place, so both of them, unless they crash out, they will score whatever they get today. We're gonna be riding on board of a Trengrade come Mulsanne Straight, as it's also known. Oh, Mick Lynch, oh, that was the grass. A lucky save for him, just ahead of Ove Trengrade. And now let's have a look how the draft plays out for Mick Lynch. Is he able to actually have an advantage here, or is he just able to stick with the car ahead? Roman Pawlowski, the car ahead of him, so he is quite a good measuring stick here. Look at that, Mick Lynch goes to the right side. He has the draft, but now he leaves it, and this might leave Roman Pawlowski to strike back once again on Mick Lynch. Look at that, though, in behind. Over Trengrade takes it 3 wide to the very far outside. That's extremely bumpy out there. Be careful. 3 abreast for 3rd place. They're kind of catching the top 2, but also not really, as Mick Lynch has a draft of them. Now they are side by side. Rob Olnick goes past Rafael Dorado. This is looking good for the championship. 2nd place driver Rob Olnick, as he goes once again wide through the Mulsanne kink. And now here also comes Mick Lynch. He is having the inside into Mulsanne. Rob might have to defend that one from Mick. He goes to the inside to kind of block him, as Rafael Dorado leads out of Mulsanne corner. Has a big slide though. Rob Olnick, he might be in prime position. Locked and loaded. Here it comes. This is the main part to make it happen for the race win. Here now comes Mick Lynch to the inside. Rafael Dorado, he gets the draft from him. He tries to go 3 wide. 3 wide for the lead. Mick Lynch to the very far inside. Rafael Dorado in the middle. Mick Lynch even cuts the curb. They're on the inside. Still side by side. A big of a slide there from Mick Lynch. I'm sorry, Ryan. As Rob Olnick now has a slide into Indianapolis, and this might be all done and dusted with the damage Mick Lynch has. Now also Roman Pawlowski to the inside, has a little bit of a peek on Mick Lynch. Mick Lynch goes wide on the artificial turf, has a slide because of it. Rob Olnick is leading the train, but Mick Lynch has the benefit of the draft into Porsche. Side by side once again for the lead. Roman Pawlowski tries to make it 3 wide, gets squeezed off by Roman Pawlowski, by Mick Lynch. Mick Lynch on the outside through the Porsche curves. This is going to be the championship decider, maybe. At least it's going to be the race decider, as Mick Lynch leads the way into the bridge turns. Oh, Roman Pawlowski turns around over Trengrade, hits the wall through the tunnel, turns it now between Rob Olnick and Mick Lynch, coming to the line. Out of Maison Blanche they come now. Mick Lynch, the car ahead. Rob Olnick in 2nd place. Will he have another try down into the 4 chicanes? Let's have a look. Here they come. 4 more corners to go. The first one ain't gonna be. He's trying to set it up, but it looks like Mick Lynch somehow survives all of that to finish in 1st place. clearly happy about that, spins it out over the line with a big wreck. Rob Olnick second place, over Trengrid third, Raffledor fourth, and Ron Pastrowski finishes in fifth.
Is the replay of Pastrowski's coming up now? Even just looking to see what happened to him in the Porsche curves, and it looks like he's maybe just sitting behind the Clarence and Olnick trying to plan a move, and he's also under attack from Ovi Trengrid, so he just lost it, I think.
Yeah, that looked rather weird there for Ron Paslawski. Seemed like there was a netcode between Roman and Ove. But yeah, while the last few cars trickle over the line, we're gonna step away for just a few moments to take a breather, but we will be quickly back after these messages. We welcome you all back to Grand Prix Legends post-race show streaming to your home on the global SimRacing channel via the iRacing eSports network. And are you interested in advertising with GSRC? Our channel's 1 million monthly global impressions are a great way to get your branding seen by a diverse audience. Follow the link in the description to learn more. And learning more, as always, that's what we're about here at GSRC, so let's learn more about the fun results of this race, which Mick Klatch did win. That gives him another 5 points over Rob Olnick in the championship. standings here for the last race in the Grand Prix Legends series. Over train grade, third place, 2 seconds back in the end, with Rafael Dorado fourth, Ron Paslowski fifth. Unlucky race for him with that late race incident. Steve Bycroft, also a very disappointing race for him, as he really had no chance of avoiding that incident ahead of him, and with that only finished 12 seconds back in 6th place. Antti Ketten in 7th place, another great showing by the Finn, with Warren Watkins in 8th, Douglas Cloud in 9th, Gate, by the way, 11 positions to finish there, and Sebastian Tixia round out your top 10.
Finished in 11th was Dave Cohen after starting in 18th. 21st, John Van Dorn started in 21st and managed to get a great result in 12th. And 13th was John Olsen, 14th was Antonio Obrofa, 15th was Colin Bentley, 16th was Randy Ho, 17th was Andreas Bruno, Michael Sullivan finished in 18th, 19th was Douglas Nelson, and rounding it at 20 was the famous man himself for starting at the back, it was Robert Reynolds.
And it also was one of the few occasions where he didn't get lapped in a race, so well done Robert there. And running the first car lap down with Paul Foster, the last car 1 lap down. Chris Hengler and everybody else back rolling through his screen right now was either 2 laps or more down, or actually did wreck out. Now we're talking to today's winner, Mick Kletch. It's another 5 points over your main rival in the championship standings, Rob Olnick. Mick, you tried your time-tested pass through Indy, and it kind of didn't really work for you. How was that going to the last lap for you?
Oh, that last lap was unbelievable. I thought I was nowhere after I hit Rob. I couldn't believe I hit someone that hard and not had any damage on the car. Well, I lost a bit of top end early on, I think, from when Rafael went into the back of me. Not too sure, to be honest with you, because my tyres take ages to warm up, but it seemed pretty good on the last lap anyway. But yeah, I always try that move down that long straight after Mulsanne, because it's really hard to pass after that. And I couldn't believe the line I took to get round Rafael there up on that grassy bit on the right-hand side. I've never been up there ever in practice or any race. I didn't know if I was going to get a slowdown or 1X or whatever. I didn't know. But I just knew I had to get round and on that straight. So that's what I tried. And then, lost a bit of momentum. I think I was a bit too tight going into Indianapolis, and Rob got it back. But, I was able to hold it through the Porsche curve. I can't believe that. Rob has been so fast through the Porsche curves. I thought he was going to have a nice dive there and force me out wide, but he's a bit too friendly, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, so what we can most definitely conclude from that is that the setup for Rob did work with his high pressures, just he wasn't there to make that pass, as he was quite far back through the Porsche curves anyway on you. Now, let's have a look out into next week. It is going to be the championship decider, no doubt. It's going to be, I think, 23 points now between you two, if I have the numbers correctly in my head. What can we expect from the season finale?
You know what? You asked me about the championship before, and I said I don't really care. Do you know what? I was actually thinking about it today, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to try and finish ahead of Rob, and then that all went out the window when the race started, so I was back to normal. But for next week, I think I will. I think I'll just try and look after some points, and see how it goes. But it should be another close race. I expect it to be pretty much the same as today, because there's such a big, long draft at Daytona. I'm expecting a close battle, so I really don't want to crash out. So there's that to think about.
Yeah, it should be really interesting, because, as you said, it is going to be Daytona with that long backstretch. So should be really, really interesting having 2 draft tracks back to back for the season finales. But Mick, congrats on your win today, and good luck for next week.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
That was Mick Kletch, your winner and still championship leader of this season. Next up, it's Ryan Walker talking to Rob Olnick.
Yeah, Rob Olnick finishing in 2nd place and came so close to taking the one possibly on the last lap.
It really was so close. Man, that guy, I can't believe he pulled that move off going down towards Indy. I purposely did it. I knew that was his move, and I purposely was beside Rafael trying to take up as much room as possible so he couldn't get by, because I knew that's what he wanted to do. I think I still had him into Indy, and I just messed up. It's Arnage is the corner after Indy, I think. I just screwed it up. I would have had him, I think.
Yeah, I mean that race was real close. It was so hard to predict the winner and what was going to happen. And it looked like some of you guys came so close to having contact. And I noticed during the race at one point on the Mulsanne straight, you were so close to the wall at times. That must have been a bit of a heart and mouth time.
Oh yeah, it was. I just was trying to keep my speed up and not turn too hard to scrub off some speed, and I got it way too close. But that was a fun race today. I mean, Le Mans sometimes it can get boring, and you're just sort of leapfrogging and stuff like that. I think Mick and I had a chance to get away if we worked together and make a gap, and we both basically felt like, nah, let's have some fun. Friday's race or Thursday's race, he was like, would have been much more fun if we had more guys in the group. And I was like, I think so too. So let's just battle.
And what's your thoughts heading into next week for the season finale? Also, we done some quick calculations, and it looks like the gap is 23 points. What's your thoughts into next week at Daytona? Is there a plan just to go for it from the get go, or are you going to play just the safe approach and try and win some points?
I'm sure I'm going to try and win. And Mick's lying to you. I heard him. There's no way he's going to do it. He said he's just going to go try and win as well every week. He does not waver from that. Like once he's racing, he's racing. I'm going to try and win. I didn't even know that I had a chance in the championship with him, honestly, until you guys were talking to him. I thought he had it. I didn't even realize it. I'm sure you guys are right, but I don't know. I didn't even know we were at Daytona last week. I just focus on the week that we're doing right now. And when it's over, like, where are we going? Okay, I'm going to go there. Let's have some fun. Daytona will be fun. I think I did pretty well there last time. And Mick had a pretty amazing comeback up through the field race.
And it'll be even more fun because it's not the newer version of Daytona. It's the 2007 one.
Is it the road course?
It is indeed.
Nice. It's actually really good in this car. The oval. I love racing the 49 on ovals, but people say that track is bumpy, and I've driven it in some cars, and I was like, it's not that bad. You know, I've been on the oval in camel cars, and it's still not that bad. In the 49, it's awful. I can't believe how tough the bumps are there, but at least you get a break in the infield.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on second place, Rob. It's not where you wanted to finish out, I'm guessing, but second place is still a good bunch of points for the championship, and we'll wish you the best of luck at Daytona next week.
Thank you, guys. I'm sure I wanted to win, but I still had a ton of fun, and I'm happy with just the way the race went. It was awesome. But I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
That was Rob Olnick finishing in second place, joining us in the booth, and I believe up next, Steph, you have fourth place finisher Rafael Dorado.
Very much so. And just like the Lotus 49 at Daytona, it can be described as jumpy. Rafael Dorado's race could also be described as that, as he did jump up and down the order throughout this race. Rafael, fourth place only for you, but still a very great comeback there after that very early incident.
Yeah, first I want to apologize to Mick and to Steve Bycroft for that incident on lap 1. It was my mistake. I misjudged my distance to Mick. I felt like it was safe, but in the end there was a contact. Luckily, Mick wasn't taken out, but I think Steve got some damage in his car. And I just want to say really sorry to him about that. And after that, I was just really nervous, not very confident at all. I didn't have a chance to practice as much as I would like this week. Had all sorts of problems. But in the end, I was surprised to be in the lead pack. And I'm happy with fourth, to be honest.
Yeah, really have to be happy with that. You're going to stay inside the top 5 here going into the last race of the season. What is your expectation? What do you think you are going to be able to do in the last race?
Well, hopefully next week I'll have more time to practice as usual. And I really want to win a broadcast race this season. So I'm going to put lots and lots of hours of practice to try to win that race. Also, I'm gonna see if I study a little bit of strategy, because really Mick today I need to take my hat out for him, because he was just super intelligent with his strategy to win the race, to make the move at the right time. And I need to level up my game if I want to be able to win in Daytona.
Well, Raphael, I think I'm not gonna lie to you if I think that when I say that I think you are gonna be one of the top dogs entering that Daytona road course.
Thank you very
Raphael,
much.
congrats once again on your 4th place finish, and good luck for next week.
Thank you very much, guys, and thanks for the broadcast.
Raphael Dorado, the most improved driver this season apart from Untitled, and talking to us there. And with that, as always, GSRC would like to thank everyone on the track today for a great show, and especially the Lotus 49 community for contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Right now, on your screen, you can see all of the companies that provide us with their great hard and software GSRC uses to deliver you the best possible show. Additional thanks goes to June Lalonde, who provides us with her great masterpieces. See the screen for how to get hold of more of her great work. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, please visit us at globalsimracingchannel.com. You can also find us on the social media platforms: Twitter with @GSR Channel, Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel, or on Instagram at GSRC_RAM. All of the upcoming races for our order series are now staring across your screen, so check them out and mark them down your calendar to not miss another second of exciting racing action. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Sean, Ryan, and Doug, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in as we pledge to give away the victory here in Le Mans. With that said, until next time, servus and sayonara, and as always, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.